In this video I will show you how to create this fog effect. So you see here from the window I have a volumetric fog or volumetric light. Okay, and so it creates a nice effect with a system of shadow. You see the shadows of the object. Okay, so but first, why I show you that? Because some of you created that for your assignment. Not so many, and that's good because I have to say that very often, every year, I see students who create this kind of effect, but these effects very often are not very necessary for their assignment. So usually this kind of effect, why we have this kind of volumetric light, it's because we have an atmosphere with a lot of particles. Okay, so what's happening here is you have particles in the atmosphere, and these particles will catch the light coming from the sun. So usually this is more on a dark scene with something a very strong light, so it could be the sun here, it could be a spotlight sometime, and if you have dust in the atmosphere or particles of someone smoking, for example, then you will see this effect. That is for indoor. For outdoor, we could also have that. For example, the morning, you will have more, mini particles of water in the atmosphere sometimes, not so much in Singapore, but and then you will have your fog effect. Okay, so I would like to tell you, do it only if it's necessary and it match well with the style of your scene. Again, last year's too many time I saw some fog like that. There were really no point to put it in the scene, and it was not adapted to the scene. So it looked like the student want to demonstrate that he can do a fog. So a professional doesn't care. Professional just want to see something coherent, okay, and credible. Okay, so here we have the same scene, but before the creation of the fog. So what I will do, I will change a little bit this lighting. I will make it a bit darker. So as I said, this volumetric fog usually is more in dark areas, so in dark scenes. Okay, because if your scene is very bright, actually we will not really see these particles of the light fog. Or volumetric light. So here I will make it darker. I will change it. Okay, my problem is now on the left, it's perhaps a bit too dark. So something I didn't show to everybody, you can click on compensate and increase it a bit. And you see it will not make the whole scene brighter, but more the dark area. Okay, so it's a bit nicer like that. Okay, so you can check with, without. Yeah. So now let's create this fog. Could be a bit confusing at the beginning. So here I remove the fog in this sky and fog, so I will create a new one. I wanted to start with something empty, so I will enable it. Okay. And here you have so some of you started to work with that. You have the volumetric, the fog attenuation distance, and you change this distance. Okay, and you saw that when you change this distance, we start to see, this kind of volumetric light. Okay, but here my problem is if I change this distance, I make it too small, the rest of the scene become a bit darker. Okay, so actually that is not the good technique. It's better to keep a high value to this one. Okay, which was perhaps the value by default. No, I will keep 400. Okay, so now what I must do, I will go in the scene, sun, sorry, and I will be sure that the sun has volumetrics enabled. Okay, and I will increase, you see, the volumetric of the sun. So then you start to see here the volumetric light. Okay, I don't know if we can put a stronger value. No, it's limited at 16. So here we want it a bit stronger. So in this case, we will go back to sky and fog. And actually, here, it's what we must do. It's to click on volumetric fog here. Okay. Otherwise, it's possible that it will put fog a bit everywhere, not only where there is the sun. So here I will activate the volumetric fog, clicking here. Okay, and now we see it's still not strong enough. So perhaps now finally I will change this distance. Okay, so let's see, 100. Okay, so here it doesn't look too bad. Okay, you see, yeah, we have already a pretty good result. But some of you, the problem that you faced was the quality of this fog. So first, the quality will be better when you are in the game. Okay, that when you're in the scene, because in this scene you never calculate everything at the maximum. So how to change the quality? I will go here in the option. You have special option, advanced option, if you click here. And here I will be able to modify the quality of this volume fog. Okay, so by default it's medium quality, but again if I go to game, you see the quality is a bit better. So I will perhaps go to from medium. Yeah, medium should be good actually. I could go to high, but perhaps it will be too laggy, because honestly this fog are very time consuming. So I will keep it to medium first, and here I will perhaps just I will turn this camera a little bit actually. Yeah, so we can see that here the quality is good. So it's exactly what I had at the beginning of this video, that I recreated just in a few clicks. Okay, but actually when we want super strong fog in very specific area, like this area near the window, usually we use another technique. So the sun multiplier, I will just put it back to 1. Okay, or I will just restart with the same scene. Okay, so or perhaps just I will keep this fog. Yeah, I will go back to normally the normal value multiplier was only 1, and then with only 1, but we don't have any fog. Okay, we have just a little bit, which is not enough. So here I will create in rendering a density volume, and I will move this volume where I want my fog. And you see in this volume the fog is stronger. So now I will adjust this box, okay, to have the fog exactly where I want. Okay, so it has to touch the ground, of course, and go here and go outside. Okay, so here I have actually the same result. Okay, so I have to adjust, of course, the density, but the difference is I control where I want this fog. So here you see I have it only on one window. If I want it to the other window, I will just duplicate, move it there. Okay, put this box at the good position, and then we have the fog at these two windows. So usually it's more like that we work, especially because if you don't use this density volume and you just push the sun at the maximum, this kind of fog distance at a minimum, the risk is you will have fog a bit everywhere. of course you will have a lot of fog near the window, but you could have the fog where there is no window. Also here the thing is, if I create here another light, I will decide if I want a fog here or not. Okay, so here if I create a light there will be no fog, but if I add to this light a density volume, we will see a fog. Okay, so that's also, again, be careful with this thing. Create this kind of effect only if it brings something to your scene and if it matches with the style of your scene. If not, don't do it. Okay, don't use it. Not good for your demo reel. Thank you.